Hello and welcome back to PatCast, the podcast where we talk about music and my favorite bands. I'm your host, Pat, and today is Paul McCartney's birthday. Sir Paul McCartney's birthday. Since I love the Beatles so much, I thought I'd dedicate this episode to him and one of my favorite stories surrounding his music career. And before you ask, there's no script. This is all carved into my brain. I mean it. This is my ghost story when somebody asks me pretty much anything. Like, do you know how to solve an equation? No, but I can tell you about how Paul McCartney wrote his hit song, Silly Love Songs, and that's what I'm gonna do right now. So, long story short, after the Beatles split in 1970, Paul McCartney released an album called Ram. All good, right? The thing is that the Beatles were like a little bit, in a sticky situation, like they'll say, like they were not in the best terms with each other. Let's say that. And especially Paul McCartney and John Lennon. So when Ram was released, John Lennon thought one of the songs of the album called Too Many People was about him. Now this is definitely a stretch for me, but if you see it from that perspective, I guess you could see how he criticizes John Lennon's lifestyle and how it's a little bit resentful towards him. I guess. So he didn't like that. And in his next album, Imagine, John Lennon released a song called How Do You Sleep? Now this song, even though I'm a huge John Lennon fan, I always skip this song because it's so bitter. It's so bitter and it's such a direct attack to Paul McCartney, and I mean it. There is a line that says, "Oh, yesterday was the only thing that you did, like the only good thing that you did." And I'm like, what? Yes, because Yesterday was the song wrote by Paul McCartney, one of his most critically acclaimed songs. So this is definitely about Paul McCartney. There's no doubt. It's not subtle, definitely not subtle. But what Paul McCartney did next is the reason why I'm telling this story. So he released Silly Love Songs, and basically, even though he didn't say it was about John Lennon, he said it was about his critics, which, you know, John Lennon was among them. But so he says, yeah, I write silly love songs, and what's wrong with that? I'm not as deep and as mystic as you are, but that doesn't make me less real. That doesn't make me less valid, you know? It's definitely a situation. It reminds me of the picture of the monkey and the lion. I'm definitely gonna put it on screen. Because I don't know, like John Lennon claimed to be a pacifist and all that, but I think Paul McCartney actually chose peace in this song. Like, things are not as complicated. It doesn't need to be. It's not that serious, you know? Like, some people want to fill the world with silly love songs, and what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. And, you know, sometimes you just want to listen to music. Sometimes you're so overwhelmed, and you just want to relax and listen to a silly love song, and there's nothing wrong with that. I love this song. It's so good. It always puts me in a good mood. And I don't know, that's why I love Paul McCartney. He's brilliant, and he's such a nice guy. And well, that's it for today's episode, guys. See you in the next one.